Kevezrat Hashem. We are Perek Yud Aleph, Pasuk Dalet. Lo yo'il hon beyom evra. On the day of a catastrophe, on the day of a wrath, wealth will not serve, will not help. Utzedakah, however, the tzedakah, tatzil mimavet, will save from death. Yeah, tzedakah tatzil mimavet, everybody knows. But the first part of the pasuk is the interesting part. Lo yo'il hon beyom evra. Says the Gaon the following. The wealth will not serve anyone beyom evra at the time of a wrath, at the day of a wrath, at the day of chaos. What is that day? Says the Gaon is the Yom HaMitah. When the moment a person leaves this world and he faces judgment in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the celestial court, he says all the wealth and everything you've amassed in this world will not help you. You don't have access to that money. And say, okay, let me pay the judges, or let me try to see if I can do something good with it. Khalas. All this has no purpose. It becomes like sand. Utzedakah tatzil mimavet. However, the tzedakah saves from death. What does it mean from death? He says what is called death after life, meaning what is called death when a person leaves this world, is a Gehinam. That's the tzedakah saves from Gehinam, meaning that tzedakah saves the person from a bad judgment that leads to Gehinam. And now the Gaon wants to make a parallel, like a connection between this pasuk Dalet, to the pasuk in Perek Yud, pasuk Bet. And he says they're complementary. In Perek Yud pasuk Bet, Shlomo Amelech says, Lo yo'ilu otzrot resha. Yes. The amassing of wealth of that came not good from Rishut will not serve good. But tzedakah tatzil mimavet. Tzedakah saved from death. Here also we saw tzedakah tatzil mimavet. If you recall there, the Gaon addressed wealth. He says money has three purposes: to do good with it, give tzedakah, gemilut chasadim. You need it for food and right? or other needs of olam hazeh. And it's purposeful in a sense where you can build more wealth. You can build buildings and businesses. So it says that all the extras that are not for tzedakah, or that are not for your need, your living needs, right? All the extras, you cannot count on it to benefit from it at times of distress. When you will not see beracha from it if it was a mass, beresha, not the right way, not clean, not straight. That's then in Pasuk Yud. So he wants to say the following. He says Pasuk Yud is referring to the benefits of tzedakah and the lack of benefits from money, from wealth, ba'olam hazeh, wealth that is not made the right way, right? In this world. It says a person that is not honest and is not making money the right way according to the Torah and the mitzvot. So the same way he's building wealth for the future. So he creates now a din for his future, right? So you believe in your future based on that money. So okay, so Hakadosh Baruch Hu says the Ganu Hakadosh Baruch Hu now says, okay, this is how you want to secure your future. Let's see if you deserve a future. And a din is a work on the person based on that effort to decide whether the person now will live or not. You hear the chidush or no? Yes, honey.
Why it doesn't make a point on how you make the wealth? See, even though if the wealth is made kosher, it won't help you in Olam Haba. It won't help you in
No. Because Pasuk Yud, we're talking Olam Hazeh. Now we're in Pasuk Yud. He's going back to Pasuk Yud. In Pasuk Yud, we say he's talking about this world, right?
Okay.
So depending on how you make your wealth, right? Because the wealth is made for the future, so now the person awakes judgment for his future because he banks on his future. He's taking efforts for now in order to build his tomorrow. So, okay, Hakadosh Baruch Hu says, no problem. So now that you're using the power I gave you for now, for your tomorrow, so let me now see if you deserve it tomorrow. And how you did the effort will determine how the tomorrow will look. Do you deserve it tomorrow or not? Yes? And there in Pasuk V'tzedakah tatzil mimavet says the Gaon that if a person chalila, right, he brought upon himself a judgment for his tomorrow because he put effort today in order to secure his tomorrow, and chalila for whatever reason, yes, the judgment is that there's no tomorrow. Tzedakah tatzil mimavet. So at that point, if there is tzedakah that has been done, meaning if in your effort, yes, for your tomorrow, there was a concept of tzedakah, so the judgment for your tomorrow will save you from chalila, a wrong judgment. Yes? It's a very deep concept. I want to make sure you understand.
I didn't get all of it.
Again, it's very important. We're separating the pasuk we're learning now, Perek Yud Aleph, with the pasuk in Perek Yud. Although both of them finish the same way, Utzdaka tatzil mimavet, and both seem to be the same thing. One he says, Lo yo'il hon beyom evra, the time of wrath, right? Your wealth will not come and save you. And in pasuk Bet he says, Lo yo'ilu otzot resha, right? The amassing of wealth that comes from resha, that doesn't come the honest way, will not serve you, right? So the Gaon said maybe you would think that both looking is just a repetition. Says no. Pasuk Perek Yud Aleph, we're talking about when the person leaves this world. Perek Yud, we're talking about in this world. Okay, and now he goes and he re-explains Pasuk Yud. He says like this: Shlomo HaMelech is teaching us and telling us the following. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives you koach today for today. Now, מה אתה עושה? You're working today for your tomorrow. Yes? So you are using the power that has been given to you today in order to secure your tomorrow. But nobody knows if you have a tomorrow. So the fact that today, with the power that has been given to you, you're investing your tomorrow, says the Gaon, this awakes judgment on the person about his tomorrow. Let's see if Bichlal, you deserve tomorrow. Okay? Now, depending on how you've used your efforts, right, to make wealth for your tomorrow, will dictate or tilt the judgment whether or not tomorrow is deserved. If it's done with Resha, says the Gaon, then Lo Alenu, right? The judgment may be very negative. Now, sometimes, for other reasons, because there is the awakening of the judgment of the tomorrow, for other reasons, Khalila, maybe there's a Gzerat Mita. So comes Shlomo and says, don't worry. Meaning, if you give your tzedakah, and if your effort, yes, that you have invested for your tomorrow has in it tzedakah, so the tzedakah tatzil mimavet saves you from the judgment, from the wrong, not good judgment. So essentially, Shlomo HaMelech comes and tells us that when you invest today in your tomorrow, make sure to infuse in it, yes, the dimension of tzedakah, so that the judgment of what will happen in your tomorrow is favorable. Amok meod, very deep. That's Pasuk Yud. However, in Pasuk Yud Aleph, the Gaon continues. Lo your sorry. Lo yo'il hon beyom evra. When it says lo yo'il hon, that the wealth, right, the rich, the will not the wealth will not serve any purpose on the day of wrath. He says this is when we talk after the mitah. He says not only, but here if you pay attention, Shlomo HaMelech doesn't say lo yo'il hon resha, right? Like he says in Pasuk in Perek Yud. Here he says only lo yo'il hon. The wealth will not serve you, but it doesn't talk about how you made that wealth. In Perek Yud, it talks about how you made it. Here, it doesn't talk about how you made it. Why not? He says because after the mitah, it doesn't matter how you made it. You made it good or not good. It's not going to help you anyways. It doesn't matter how much you have in the bank account. That's not going to help. It doesn't matter how much assets you had in your portfolio. It won't help. Elamai. He says the only thing that's still consistent when you're alive and afterwards is the tzedakah. Because the tzedakah while you're alive, it saves you from Khalila, the wrong judgment that's coming for the future. And after life, right, it saves you from the Gehinam. Even if there's a judgment that could lead to Gehinam, the tzedakah is a joker, is a pass that saves you from din of Gehinam.
We clear up one concept.
Yes.
Well, a shirut that was ill-gotten through Resha, but that person acted with chesed and did tzedakah. Did he save himself in Olam Haba?
If he did Beresha,
if he got it beresha but did tzedakah
It's a good question.
in olam hazeh?
No, because that tzedakah is not really tzedakah. You cannot steal money from someone and then give tzedakah. That doesn't work. That's not tzedakah. Maybe the guy you stole money from, he gave the tzedakah. But the guy who stole the money for sure didn't give the tzedakah. It's too easy. Let me become Pablo Escobar and I'm going to start giving millions of dollars of tzedakah.
Okay, just making sure. Make sure we understand.
The only interpretation to mimavet is in din geinam, or is also in olam hazeh?
So Perek Yud is mita in olam hazeh. Is that the person lives. In Perek Yud Aleph is geinam.
Okay, both.
Yes.
Rabbi, could you give a quick summary on tzedakah?
On what? On definition of tzedakah? Huh?
Ken,
Uh-huh.
is it just giving charity? Like, to what extent? Meaning,
Ken.
deep question, sorry.
Does the Gaon explain that? What is considered tzedakah?
Throughout the Sefer, yes. Here specifically, and not particularly. But okay. I give you 5 minutes so you understand. I'm going to try. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us a responsibility and an obligation after the Chet of Adam HaRishon, yes, to work in order to exist. Okay? So the work essentially is a definition of the curse of Adam HaRishon. And that is to eat bread. Okay? Now, the purpose of man to work is in order so he can eat bread, meaning survive and sustain his body, so that he can now serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Right? And what is the punishment? The punishment is when you had like 100% time and focus and nahat to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yeah. Now you're gonna have to do it, but it's gonna come with pain, because what I used to take care of for you, now you're gonna have to take care of it on your own. You didn't trust me, now you're on your own. Okay. No, what Andy? What?
You are not 100% on your own.
No, for that part, you're gonna have
You
to.
have to do your part.
Yes,
It
you're gonna.
still depends on him.
Baruch. But you're gonna have to sweat to get it. Baruch.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Emet. That is the definition of work. Okay, that's the definition of work. Now, because of the lack of emunah that we have, okay, so we extend the effort of that work beyond its measures. Meaning what? The measure of the work was in order to sustain ourselves so that we can serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because of our lack of emunah and because of the ta'avot and because of the bilbul da'at, yes, we take that effort and we extended it and extrapolated it to determine and define quality of life and the future and social status, etc., etc. Okay. Now, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, knowing that the Adam sinned, and now Adam will already extend his efforts beyond what he needs to survive. And where do we find this in Cain and Hevel? Right away, Cain and Hevel start working, and right away, what they bring? They bring korban. Meaning, what does it mean? They bring a korban. They brought to Hakadosh Baruch Hu a sacrifice to show their appreciation, okay, for what they have, for the fruit of their work. Meaning that by default they worked more than they were supposed to. Because if they worked only for what they were supposed to, there's nothing to give. Right? So they introduced the concept of Hakarat HaTov. Here, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's true that I work more, but I'm showing you that I am Makir Tova.
And in agriculture, you cannot work to have exactly what you eat.
But who said that they were supposed to be agricultures?
What else can they do?
Well, there's no fruits, there was no vegetables, there was no leaves, it was all there for them. They didn't plant anything.
Ah, okay.
They didn't plant anything. It was
So
there.
how do you know they worked for it?
Huh?
How do you know that they worked for it?
So what would be the concept of bringing a korban if it's not yours? Again, if you go to now right, you go to the jungle and you take bananas and you come say, well, this is for you. I mean, I planted it. What are you bringing me? Elamai, for sure that it was from their efforts. Yeah. Okay. So Hakadosh Baruch Hu then introduces what is so the concept of Hakarat HaTov is introduced. Okay. Now and then we and that's part now of the system of making and showing Hakarat HaTov to Hakadosh Baruch Hu. As we become a nation, yes, Hakadosh Baruch Hu introduces a preliminary Hakarat HaTov and responsibility for the clan. Now that you're not an individual and you're a nation, you're responsible for one another. And you have an obligation for one another. And what is that called? That's called Maaser. Yeah? The Maaser, as we all know, it's a 10% that is not yours, that is given through you in order to feed the poor and take care of the community. Why isn't HaKadosh Baruch Hu giving it directly to the needy? Because as the system, there's a needy and there's someone that has, and that's through that system HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes care. And if it does not come from you, it's going to come from somebody else. Yes, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives shlichut to each and every one. That's Maaser, and that's still not yours. But that's coming to awake within you the need to be responsible for the community. That's Maaser, to remind you that you have an obligation to be responsible for the clan, for the people around you. But at that point, you're still not, you still haven't done anything. This after your Maaser kicks in the tzedakah. What is the tzedakah? It is when you personally engage with your means. It could be intellectual means, time, chesed, money, connections. It doesn't matter what it is. Yes, it's when you take of your own and now enhance the life of the clan beyond what you have done. What is called the maaser that has nothing to do. It's just like the Rambam says in Sefer HaMoreh, a way to awake within you, yes, this sensitivity that you need to care for others. This is tzedakah. Tzedakah is when you do on your own something that is yours for the benefit of the clan. Good. So, midah keneged midah. You do tzedakah. You gave life to somebody else that had nothing to do with you. So even though the person may be judged for midah keneged midah, you gave life to someone. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give you life. You saved someone from his own limits, from his own problem. That for him is that all these feelings are tastes of Gehinam, are tastes of punishment, of darkness. You alleviated that darkness and that pain from that person. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will alleviate that pain for you. And how is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu save you from Gehinam? So midah keneged midah. 4 minutes. I have 1 more minute. No.
That was fascinating.
Baruch Hashem. Ken? Matan, you okay? I hope we didn't lose you.
כן, מצוין.
Okay.
תודה.
Okay. All right. So back now to, so that's the definition of tzedakah tatzil mimavet.
Sorry, but that was really amazing. That's a concept that I think most people, or at least I didn't know, that real tzedakah is beyond maaseh that we're supposed to do, or the chesed that we're supposed to do.
נכון. נכון. Yes? So the Gaon continues, and here it takes a little tangent. I know you don't like to talk about it, but he addresses it. He says like this. He spoke about it in the past. We addressed it in the past. That there are 3 levels of punishment. One is what is called Gehinam. Gehinam is a cleansing process, a painful cleansing process, a reset button. Number 2 is what is called Kaf Akela. Nish here and nish there. You're not here and you're not there. That meaning there's no judgment, there's no court to be judged, but there's also no life. Kaf Akela is the most painful position one can be, because he's in limbo forever, unless somebody does a tikkun in Olam Hazeh and free him from the Kaf Akela. But if there's not a tikkun that is not, the Kaf Akela is like in limbo all the time, in limbo, but forever, huh? Shem Yishmor, yeah. And the third is when there's the Gzera of Gilgul. And that's another facet of Mita. And not stomach Gilgul. So when it's a Gilgul to come back in Domem. It's like when the Neshama needs to come back in a stone, which is also a tremendous punishment, because the Neshama, imagine there's a stone, there's a Neshama in it, but the Neshama cannot do nothing. It's a stone. It cannot move, and he sees everything happening, and he's being pushed right and left. It can stay there for thousands of years, and nothing happens. Hashem Yishmor. So says the Gaon, that the tzedakah tatzil mimavet, saves from death, but which death? The death of Gehinam. That's in this pasuk. And in the first pasuk we said the Mita, referring to what? To the Gilgul of Domem, of coming back in a stone. So says the Gaon, the tzedakah saves you from 2 of the 3, right, levels of punishment of death. The Gilgul of Domem, that the person never comes back, lo alenu, in a stone, and from the Gehinam. He says here we don't address the third one, because it will be addressed later. Yeah, yes.
It doesn't say could save you, it says saves you, like with no doubt.
Yeah. Saves you. Utzedakah tatzil mimavet. I will save you. I mean, it's not
Depending how you did it,
maybe. Huh?
you have to do it right, but it will save you.
Barur. Tzedakah. The tzedakah based on the definition of the Torah tzedakah, not of our definition of what tzedakah is. We can fool ourselves and believe that we do tzedakah, yes, but says the Gaon the following. Essentially, the tzedakah will save you from two, for now. Pay attention. In Perek Yud, he addressed only one type of mitah, which is a mitah of life. Here is addressing that. We're going to see that the tzedakah also saved from the kafakela, but we're going to get there when we get there. But he says here, what is the definition of the two, of kafakela, of Gilgul and of Gehinam? It says Gilgul is what? Is to be stationed in one place, כן? שאין יכול לצאת משם. אינו יכול לזוז ממקום ההוא. He's standing in a place and he can never move from there. This is the Gilgul of Even. So Even is put. He can put a stone now in Mount Everest. That's the Gilgul. He can put the stone in the Sahara, anywhere, and it will never move from there. That level of imprisonment, that level of pain, of suffering, that suffering the tzedakah takes away. The other one, it's the pain of the Gehinam, which is what Serefat HaGehinam, right? The burning of the Gehinam, right? That also HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the tzedakah, yes, takes away, yes.
But it doesn't take you to being in the stone, lo alenu, or in the Gehinam. It takes out the suffering. No. It takes away the Gilgul and it takes away the Gehinam. There's no Gehinam and there's no Gilgul. No, that's what the Gaon says. So, and if you pay attention, it's two different types of punishment. One, it's a consistent feeling of pain, the burning, and the other one is being stuck, okay, and not being able to move or do anything. It's completely different. And says the Gaon, this is midah keneged midah, because when you give the tzedakah and you alleviate the pain from someone, right? So he could be in a constant pain and he's suffering, and that's the Gehinam. Sometimes the person is stuck, he needs a little bit of help, yes, and you free him through that. That's the Gilgul. So he says, that's what it's here. On these two psukim, the Gaon says, this is what Shlomo HaMelech is coming to teach us. This is what we are being saved from. And this from the tzedakah that you did in your life, meaning you did tzedakah at one point in your life or in your life, and it has an impact not only for the judgment in here, but for what's happening afterwards.
pasuk He. We're good? Any other question on the Tzidkat Tamim? Tiyasher darko. The tzedakah, right, of the Tamim, the righteousness, the tzidkut of the Tamim, of the Tam, of the simple, will smooth his path. Uberish'ato yipol rasha, and the rasha falls in his own wickedness. So we've spoken and we refreshed our memory about what is definition of the Tam. Is somebody that does what he's being told. He doesn't think too much, not right, not left. כן? So says the Gaon, the tzidkut of the Tam protects, the tzidkut of the Tam protects him from his own flaws. What does that mean? The Tam doesn't use his sechel. He just does what he's being told, right? But we know that you need intellect. You need to be to be sharp, to know how to dodge, bullets, how to get away from the Yetzer Hara. Like Chachamim says, "Le'olam yeh adam ken arum be'yirah." The man should have a shrewd yirat shamayim. And how do you develop this? You develop this through your sechel. So you would think that the Tam, right, that doesn't have sechel, that doesn't use his sechel, is exposed and vulnerable to the Yetzer Hara, and is an easy target. Says Shlomo HaMelech, Teyasher darko. The Kadosh Baruch Hu gives us a divine protection to the Tam, to protect him from the Yetzer Hara, and to strengthen his path, to smoothen his path, so that even if the Yetzer Hara tries to take him down, he has a level of protection. However, the Rasha, the reason he fails in Torah and mitzvot is because of his behavior. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu looks at him and says, today you failed because of the choices you made in the past, right? You made wrong choices. It led to failure in your behavior today. Even though today, yes, your behavior, you don't control your behavior, but because that was a choice that you made in the past, you're still responsible for it today. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes the Rasha pay later for choices he's made in the past. As long as he didn't do tshuva. If he does tshuva, it's a different story, obviously. And he brings an example from Doeg and Achitofel that had wrong emotions in their heart towards Elisha Navi, and because of their outlook on situations, that they allowed their mind to develop and brew thoughts and emotions, right? They ended up falling in their emunah because of the choices they made originally. So comes Shlomo HaMelech and tells us like this: If you are a tam and you don't think too much, what I'm told I do, yes, that you have that timimut brings you the protection. Now we've learned in last year, okay, that you need timimut and you need sechel. You need both of them, right? So the timimut brings you the siyata dishmaya that you need, yes. Although you should have the sechel, but if you don't develop the sechel, Hakadosh Baruch Hu will protect you. But the same way he protects you if you do the right thing, right? If the person makes the wrong choices, that person is responsible for the ripple effect of that choice and its outcome. Even though it's not thought of and it's not done with full awareness at that moment, but because it's a behavior that has been chosen in the past, he carries the full responsibility. And that's so the Rasha makes himself fall, right? The outcome is the punishment of his own choices.
The same as in the future.
Biduk.
When we say the same.
Biduk, exactly. Tov. Be'ezrat Hashem. So we did the Pasuk Dalet and Pasuk He. Siyata Dishmaya.
Thank you.
Be'ava, any questions?
See you tomorrow.